Hey y'all, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing the curriculum choices that I have made for my third grade student going forward for the 2024-2025 school year. If this is your first time joining me here, my name is Haley. I have 3 little boys, 2 of which are homeschool age, and we have been homeschooling for the past 3 years. So I've got my stack of curriculum choices back here to share with you guys. But I just want to say real quick, I had previously posted curriculum pig videos just back in January of this year. That's because we started our homeschooling journey in the middle of my oldest son's kindergarten year. So I actually pulled him from the school he was attending mid-year, and we just kind of picked up there, and then we started following a year-round schedule. So we've never followed a traditional school year in our homeschool, but we started with new curriculum back in January. We ended up changing several of those curriculum picks for him, which I've posted previously about, but we've already finished up the curriculum that I had selected for history and science and things like that. We were doing sunlight for history, and we were doing just some unit studies for science. I decided a few months ago that once we finished up that science and history curriculum that we had already purchased, that we would be transitioning away from those and into more of a Charlotte Mason approach in our homeschool. So that's what we're doing right now. Like I said, we homeschool year round, so it's not like we've not been doing school. We've been taking a little 2-week break, and we are about to just jump right back into where we left off with our math and language arts, but we're switching up all of the history and science and geography and all of that. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. I have some hard copies of the things that we'll be using here, but I have some digital copies on my computer that I'm going to be looking at, and then I have some printed copies in a notebook back here. First up, for his math, we are going to be continuing on with the Simply Charlotte Mason arithmetic series. He's going to be starting on book number 3. We have pretty much wrapped up book number 2 at this point, and so we're going to be just continuing on with this series. We have loved it so far. The last several videos I have shared have been about book 2, and then I shared a little bit about book 3. So just going to continue on with book number 3 in this series. If you want to know a little bit more about how this series works, I'll be sure to link those other videos down below where I've done like some flip throughs and just shared what comes with the curriculum and things like that. Okay, for the language arts piece, we are going to be continuing on with Spelling Wisdom, also from Simply Charlotte Mason. So with this spelling curriculum, you don't have a spelling list. Instead, you have passages like quotes or poems, and the child studies that passage. So he's just going to continue on with this spelling program. This is what we've been working on for the last couple months, and it seems to be going really well. So that's the spelling aspect of his language arts. Now for the grammar portion of it, we're going to be using Language Well, also from Simply Charlotte Mason, and this pairs with the Spelling Wisdom book. So whenever you look at the passage in the Spelling Wisdom book to practice for spelling, this book here gives you the grammar concepts to study found within that passage. Again, I talked quite a bit about how this functions in a previous video, so I'll link that one down below so that I'm not saying the same thing over and over again. Also, for his language arts, he will be doing copy work. So every day he will read. He's not needing any type of phonics lessons or anything like that at this point. He's reading fluently. So he will read from his selected readers, which I have over here. And then he's going to choose a passage from that to copy down into his copy work notebook, which is just a cheap 50-cent notebook that I bought from the dollar store. And he will copy the passage down in that, and that will also help with him getting familiar with spelling different words and sentence structure and things like that. Now, when it comes to the readers that he's choosing this year, I just let him pick out different readers that he wanted to read from. So he is going to be working through the Lane Walker series. We have all 6 books in both of these series. I believe they both have 6. So the Hometown Hunters, we have all 6, and the Fishing Chronicles, I think, also has 6 books in it. He's wanting to read through these chapter books, so he has the whole stack of these over by his desks to work through. And he has also been enjoying the Magic Treehouse series, so he just has a whole bunch of Magic Treehouse books here that he wants to read through. And like I said, I let him have free choice over his readers for this year because I just want him to stay excited about reading. And then the last bit of kind of the language arts aspect is going to be his handwriting, and we're going to be using the Good and the Beautiful's Level 3 handwriting book. He is about a third of the way through this book already. He's been practicing learning cursive, and he's just going to continue on with this book. We are also going to be starting him on a typing program this year. So he is going to be using Typing 1 from the Good and the Beautiful. I just printed this out at home. That way I'll have the PDF available for my other sons whenever they get ready to do typing. So I just printed this out at home, and he'll be doing typing a couple times a week. Okay, now on to the Ambleside Online part. If you've never looked at Ambleside Online, or maybe you have looked at it, it has a lot of moving parts. So this is going to sound like a whole lot, but just keep in mind that none of this is going to be done on a daily basis, with the exception of history. We will be touching on history pretty much daily in order to get the readings in. Ambleside Online follows the Charlotte Mason philosophy, and because of that, you utilize living books for all of your readings, and then the child is going to narrate back to you. So I'm about to show you a whole lot of different books. Like I said, some of these I'm just going to mention because I have the PDF versions of them. But let's start with history. So for history this year, he is going to be studying 1400 to 1600 Renaissance and Reformation era. And for that, he will be utilizing 3 different history sources. So the first one, I have the physical copy here. It is A Child's History of the World, and he will read from this book a couple times a week whenever it is scheduled. So like I said, not all of these books are scheduled daily or even weekly, so keep that in mind. But we will just read pretty much a chapter from this every time that it is scheduled, and that'll take us a couple days to read through. We're also going to be using An Island Story, and I don't have the physical copy of that. I have a PDF copy of that I have printed out. So a lot of these books are public domain because they're a lot older, so you're able to access them for free, which is wonderful. And then for American history, we're going to be using This Country of Ours, and we're going to be utilizing an audiobook version. We're going to be utilizing an audiobook version for that. Okay, moving on to biographies, we are going to be doing biographies for Michelangelo, William Shakespeare, and then the last biography book will be The Landing of the Pilgrims. And how the biographies work is one is read through per term. So you have a 12-week period there to read through each one of these biography books. So you're just going to be reading a little bit from them each week. For geography, we are going to be reading through this Marco Polo picture book. I opted for this option of Marco Polo. There are several different options out there for the Ambleside Online website. I went for this one. I think it's a bit shorter. And since this is our first year diving into Ambleside Online, and there are so many different moving parts, I went for the shorter one. This is still a book that they recommend as good to use on their website. So we went for the shorter version, and this book is actually spread out over the entire year. So you're really just reading a couple pages a week from this. We will also be utilizing some map printouts to actually track the journey of Marco Polo. And then in addition to this geography related book, we will be using Charlotte Mason's geography series to study some different geography concepts throughout the year. So things with the equator and hot and cold countries, different concepts like that we'll be covering throughout the year. But again, I just have the PDF version of that. It's available online for free, so I don't have a physical copy. Okay, moving on to the literature selections that I will actually be reading out loud to him. So we have The Princess and the Goblin by George MacDonald. We also have American Tall Tales. We will also have readings from 3 other literature selections throughout the entire year. Those are The Heroes, Children of the New Forest, and The Jungle Book. And I do not have Children of the New Forest or the Jungle Book purchased yet. The Heroes is another book that I'm going to be utilizing the free online version for. And we have his nature study and science. We will be doing nature study together as a family, so I don't have anything specifically for him. I'm going to share those things in a separate family curriculum pick video since we will be doing those family style. But he will be reading through this book, Pagoo, which is about a little hermit crab. It actually says on the back, an intricate study of tide pool life is presented through the story of Pagoo, a hermit crab. So this book looks very interesting. You can see that it has all sorts of informative little sketches throughout. And this is a book that we just read one chapter from a week, and the chapters are literally 2 to 3 pages long. That book will be used during the first and second term, and then during the second half of the second term and the third term, we will be reading a book called Secrets of the Woods, which I have not purchased yet either. I'm kind of spacing out the cost of the curriculum throughout the year so that I don't have to purchase it all at once. So the books that I am going to purchase the physical copies of, I'm kind of hoping that I can find them at a resale shop or a used bookstore. But if not, I'll purchase those whenever it gets closer to time to actually utilize them in the curriculum. So that's everything that I've picked for my grade 3 student for the upcoming school year. It seems like a whole lot, but I am excited to jump in and start this new process of using Amplify Online with both of my children. Hopefully before too much longer, I'll also have the videos up for our family picks as well as my first grade students picks for the next school year. I'm still trying to finalize some things for him. And then I also want to get up some different scheduling videos and things like that for y'all. I've been putting together some free printables that I hope that I can share with y'all. So hopefully I can get those up here soon. But let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions about what I shared today. I know it's a lot. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.